Have you ever been working on a painting, sculpture, or other type of art piece and realized halfway through that it just looks plain ugly? That is called the ugly phase. Every artist comes across this in their art making practices. It's a point in their art making process where the art is absolutely not looking like the idea that you have in your head. So let's talk about it. Right now, I'm actually struggling with the ugly phase in my digital art painting. I have not completely mastered the technique yet. Of course, I'm just starting out, And this is probably also because I am trying to find sort of my digital art style, I guess. Everything I make on my iPad right now has a point where I'm looking at it and I just hate it. It kind of looks flat and stiff and I don't know, not nice. I'm trying to draw something that I'm comfortable with so that I can get used to this new medium. I've tried little fast sketches, but I'm not always happy with it for some reason. Something seems missing. Maybe it's because I'm not used to making little simple things, because somehow I always end up putting in too much detail into everything, and I'm also trying to let go of that. So maybe it's just my brain not being used to this new thing that I'm trying. I don't know. But I mean, even if I do just fast sketches, there's a certain level of detail, Because if I don't do that, it looks ugly and unfinished. Even though I think it's finished, it isn't finished, but then I don't know what else to do. So, what is the ugly phase? The ugly phase comes up during your art process when you look at your art and it looks ugly. That's the only thing to explain. It looks hideous. Nothing is going right. Nothing is right about it. It seems beyond fixing, Most of the time the finished art piece will be a lot closer to what you have imagined. But when you are in the ugly phase, you cannot see how it can possibly end up any good. You have to take a step back and remind yourself that you still have to add a lot of steps that will also make the art resembling something closer to what you have in mind. So what can you do to get out of this ugly phase? Well, the first thing is to literally take a step back, Try to figure out what is wrong with your artwork. Leave it a little bit, look at it another day, and find, really try to analyze it, see what is wrong. Maybe you did the proportions wrong, or maybe the color seems flat because you just need to add more shading, or you didn't do the shading in the right places. Whatever it is, just try to write it down for yourself and see if there's a way to fix it. A lot of times you realize that problems will be fixed themselves, because it is something that you will automatically fix in your process in a later stage. The painting may still look flat, but that can just be because you still have to do a lot of shadows and highlights, If you do not know what is wrong with your artwork but still do not like it, you can get some outside feedback. Ask a friend to help identify problems in your piece, or post it online or in a Discord server or whatever to get some feedback. Because sometimes it's really difficult to look at your own art and see what exactly is wrong. You can look at it and be like, I don't like it, something is wrong, but it can be just really difficult to find out for yourself what exactly annoys you about it, So then it's just always nice to get some outside perspective. I do say that the ugly phase of your artwork is often just a time when you're overthinking things, because it's a little bit difficult to visualize the end results, and sometimes it can help to just take a break, refocus yourself, and come back to it. These little breaks can help you push through the ugly stage and will help you begin to like painting again. Because sometimes that's all you need to do. Not give up, just reflect a little and continue. Good art takes patience, so it's better to not rush it, But what if you really messed up and your artwork is beyond saving? That's fine too. You can just start over. Maybe it seems very scary, but you can. The only thing is, like, don't look at the artwork that didn't work out as like a field artwork or a disaster. Just try to see it as like the first version or as practice. It was a warm-up. So then it's again important to look at it and see what you want to improve before you start again. Maybe everything already went wrong with sketch and you just have to like practice sketching. Maybe the colors are not right and you have to focus a little bit more on color theory. Take the time before you start over to improve on anything that you need to improve on. When making art, you just keep on learning every time you make a new thing. And you can just do like little practice exercises in between, like make little color comps or something, and you know, continue with that. Like find different ways to shade artwork, you know. You can take a long break if you want, work on other stuff, improve your skills, and start over as soon as you're ready. Also, my cat's meowing. Do not try to rush or push it, because you will probably get stuck in another ugly face. If you get stuck again, just repeat the steps. Look at your art, determine if you can fix it, or if it will fix itself, or if you just have to start over. And if you had to start over multiple times, that is fine. Just see it as getting a lot of practice. So, I went to an ugly face, yeah, that's also true. But I mean, my art that I was working on right now went to an ugly face. So I made this digital painting of like an elf floating somewhere and holding some type of magical light crystal thing. And I thought it was finished. Yeah, I needed to do the background, like a better background, but the main part was finished. But when I came back after a few days to do the background, I was not happy with it at all. I was like happy with the sketch and hair, but it looked wrong. It was finished, but it didn't feel finished and it felt strange. And I knew I could improve on it. So that's kind of what I did. So first, we had to analyze what was wrong with it. The first thing I did not like was the color palette. The hair was nice blue, and I liked the gold accent, but I didn't like the skin. It was too pale, the background was too grey, blue, boring, and the light reflected from the crystal was like cold. I think greenish. It didn't look good. I did like the white eyes and the black dress, and I had put some blushes on the skin that were nice, but some things it felt very boring for some reason. The second thing that I didn't like was the shading. I smudged some of the harder edges on the shading, but it ended up looking weird, especially on the skin. Like really on the skin. It felt like the skin was like bloated or something, I guess, and it didn't look right at all. The third thing was the background. But that wasn't really strange because I didn't even try for the background. I still kind of had to do the background. I just threw some textures on there and was like, yeah, I'll finish this later, but I didn't. So, you know. So with this painting, I ended up starting over. Like almost starting over. I could probably have fixed it, but I just wanted to start over. So I kept the sketch and line art and I copied this over to a new canvas and did some color comps. And after that, I just completely started over on another fresh canvas. I ended up going with darker skin and pink hair, and the crystal has like a golden light reflecting off of it. I also kept the shading more simple on the skin. And the last most important thing I did was I gave her more of a background to float around in. And made it look like she was underwater. With like light coming through from above and underwater plants and stuff. I'm a lot more happy with how the second version of this painting turned out in the end. And I can probably still improve on it. But for the first bigger thing that I made on my iPad, it's pretty good. Like I spent more time on it than on the hand from last time, you know? So I hope this video helped you out if you were stuck in the ugly phase of your artwork. And I do think it is important to remember that a lot of people go through this ugly stage, you know? It's totally fine. I think it's like completely normal to go through this stage. And a lot of times you think that nothing is fixable about your artwork, or that it's just lost, that it cannot be fixed. But that's not true. A lot of times you can fix it. And if you really cannot, you can just start over. Nobody is stopping you. It's perfectly okay. So I want to thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye.